Hello, West Ham Network. It's Holly. I hope you're all having a great week so far. I'm here today with the Hammers headlines for you, running through just some of the stories from the last 24 hours. This is, of course, run in partnership with KUMB.com, so make sure you check them out if you haven't already. Keep the discussion going by commenting on the video with your thoughts on everything that we chat about today. We want to get your thoughts on all the actions. Don't be a silent watcher. Let us know what you think. Give me some stick if you fancy, whatever you want to do. It makes it more fun. And of course, if this is your first time on the channel, don't be a stranger. Make sure you subscribe because we would hate for you to miss out on all the amazing content that we've got in the works. So as we all know, as it always happens this time of year, there are so many rumours, links and stories. It's very difficult to choose just three, but I've tried my best. So here we go. Up first, West Ham's tour in Australia continues to highlight some of the positives. Lang, Potts and Mabama were all handed starts against Spurs as we won 3-2. So a nice positive pre-season once again. Lang played in a back four with Zuma, Ogbonna and Emerson. 19-year-old Potts partnered with Flynn Downs in the centre with Bowen on the right and Fornals on the left of midfield. Then we played two up top with Mabama joining Ings. Nice two up top, which as we've said, we knew that Ings being the sole striker doesn't really work. The club called it a 4-4-2 formation and we had a lot of solid performances, even if we did have a few challenges on the way to the win. So we've got to start by talking about Mabama. He played against Perth Glory in the previous pre-season game, scoring once and hitting the crossbar with a long-range effort. And this game, he showed once again that he really does mean business. It's not the odd good performance. He wants to leave his mark. He won a lot of free kicks. And then he got on the end of Emerson's cross to head the ball in and make it 2-0. There was some slightly questionable goalkeeping from Spurs, but Mabama's movement into space was brilliant. The header was perfectly executed, and he's making it really difficult for Moyes to not include him in the plans for next season. Personally, I was of the opinion that obviously if we were to lose Antonio or what we were going to do about Ings, we needed to sign someone, but it looks as though we could have an option on our own team already, which is great. And another player to chat about is Ings. He got on the end of a great cross from Bowen for our first goal, and he looks like a completely different player with a partner up top, which we knew the whole time, and it's how we fit that into our system. But it's definitely something to consider for the upcoming season. And it'll be interesting to see what we do. Obviously, playing two up top in the pre-season games, it would be a strange decision to do that and then play one up top when we actually start the Premier League season. So interesting to see what we actually choose to do. And most importantly, set pieces. They're actually working for us again. We took a season out, but we're back, delivering great crosses into the box and getting on the end of them, which is something that dried up completely, to be honest, last season, and was one of the things that we did particularly well the season before that. We were in absolute danger every time we got a corner, and suddenly we couldn't get the accuracy, couldn't get the ball in, and couldn't get on the end of any crosses we did get in. So hopefully this is changing, and this will be something that we can really build on going into next season. Potts and Downs played really well, linking up nicely, looking as though they've played alongside each other for years. It'll be interesting to see who we choose to play or sign to strengthen the CDM position, but they both did well against a very strong Spurs side in the first half especially, which is no easy feat. For anyone that wasn't aware, Spurs basically played a really strong starting lineup, and you looked at that and compared it to ours, which obviously had a lot of academy players in. So they did well to hold the midfield there. But then the second half came where Spurs changed all 11 players at half time. It was always going to be a challenge to go up against 11 fresh players, but the lack of possession came back to haunt us. Spurs got 2 goals in quick succession around the 70th minute, making it 2-2. We looked very tired at this point. Everyone's streams were playing up, so you couldn't quite see what was going on. But it sounded as though we obviously weren't holding very much possession, and we looked leggy, and they made the most of that. It was obviously worrying with 20 minutes to go, hoping that we could either hold out or get the win. Then Scamacca ran onto a through ball from Fornals and finished it nicely to make it 3-2. Do you think Fornals should be in midfield 3 alongside Paqueta and the CDM? Let us know. So what can we take from our pre-season games so far? That's the big question. For me, one of the key things has got to be realising that we don't necessarily have to spend money to strengthen every position that we've struggled in. The academy has produced some really talented youngsters, and everyone that's been given the chance in pre-season has done everything that they can to be remembered for all the right reasons, which is what we've been wanting to see. It's been disappointing when we've seen youngsters go in the past, but could this be the beginning of things changing a little bit? And we definitely needed this fighting spirit to emerge, and it's great to have competition and the eagerness to just give everything on that pitch. And nothing would make me happier than being able to give some of those youngsters the opportunity to smash it in the Premier League. So long overview, but 3-2 win, some positives, some areas for improvement highlighted. What have you taken from our pre-season fixtures so far? What are you making of it? Let us know in the comments. Your second story for today is, that took a second to load. ABC Sevilla reported that Real Betis are convinced that West Ham will make an offer to sign Luiz Felipe. However, they're yet to receive a written offer. The rumours suggest that we promised his agent that we would make an offer, and they are now becoming frustrated with the delay in us making it official. Luiz Felipe is a 26-year-old centre-back, for anyone that doesn't know, and he's valued at around 15 mil, although it sounded as though the bid would need to be closer to 17.1 mil. And by the sounds of it, progress is being made in terms of determining what the contract length and the amount of money involved would be. But it sounds as though we also don't want to jump at him in case there's other options out there, or at least rush into a decision. So who would be your top choice of centre-back? And is that a position that's even a priority in your opinion? Do you think we should spend money elsewhere? Let us know. And finally, West Ham are said to still be leading the interest in Harry Maguire compared to other clubs. It looks as though we're exploring the option of either a loan or a permanent deal for the 30-year-old defender. Maguire is likely to be unhappy at United, having just been stripped of his captaincy, and is pretty much their fifth choice central defender, if I'm correct. But he's not expected to be cheap in terms of wages, even if we can come to an agreement with United. He's expected to currently be on £189,000 a week at the moment. And remember that whichever centre-back we sign may end up being our third choice in that position if we prefer Zuma and Aged, or maybe even fourth if we're looking at Tilo Kehrer, fifth if we're looking at Oggy coming in ahead of them. So it's a lot of money to pay for a 30-year-old defender that would not automatically want to go into our starting line, or we wouldn't want them to go into our starting lineup. So there's a lot to consider there. The big question, would you like to see Harry Maguire at West Ham if we can get him at a decent price, or is he not worth taking the risk in your opinion? There are a lot of options out there, obviously, for that position, including signing Taylor Harwood-Bellis from Man City's under-21s, which looks as though that could be a good prospect, someone that would be happy starting on the bench, but also wanting to prove themselves. So there we have it. Those are your Hammers headlines for today. We've been linked with countless players and we've made 0 signings as of right now, but hopefully it's not long until that changes. If you haven't already, give this video a thumbs up, make sure you're subscribed, and leave us a comment letting us know how you're feeling this transfer window. What do you think our priorities should be? How are you feeling about all those stories? Let us know. Until next time, enjoy your day and come on you Irons. Have a good one.